Right. I believe we are live. Let's wait for Facebook to catch up with us. It's always a few steps behind Google and YouTube. I'm not sure why. They're a little bit slower, but here we go. Hey, there we go. What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Hope you're having a fantastic week. You've gotten back into the groove of things, Thanksgiving, and you're getting after it. Today, we got something very, very special that we don't do very often inside of these communities. We're bringing out a special guest, a client of ours who's been working with us for the last several months, who to us it exemplifies everything that clinical marketer stands for, who we love to help, someone who is extremely driven and passionate about helping people, but also isn't afraid to take immediate action to get what he wants from his business, from the time that he wants to spend with his family, and is just extremely, extremely coachable. And I wanted to bring Dr. Josh Cabrera out here. I just asked you if you go by Josh and Joshua too.
It's all good.
I wanted to bring him out here because I think he has a story that I know for a fact is going to motivate and inspire a lot of people inside of these communities who are either still in DPT school, about to get their start, who want to go straight into cash physical therapy, have already been in the industry for a number of years and know whether they love their job or hate their job, that to get the kind of work-life balance that they want to have, they eventually need to start their own practice, but they don't know where to start. They're afraid to get of the consequences of starting it and then not knowing what exactly they need to do. And when Josh first found us, he was literally just getting started in his practice. And now, since working with us, he's generated more than $50,000 in cash package sales inside of his practice, creating a massive impact both for his patients, for himself, and with his family. So I want to bring him out here to share his story. So everyone, if you're catching this live, comment live. If you're catching the replay, comment replay. But most importantly, make sure that we thank Josh for taking the time out of his busy day. He's got a family, he's got a practice, he has a million things that he could be doing, but he's here right now to share his wisdom and his journey with each and every one of you. So make sure to give him some love in the comments. Josh, from the bottom of my heart, man, thank you so much for taking the time to do this.
No, thank you for the invite, Jordan. It means a lot. The journey that I set out with you guys, from starting with you in March to where I'm in now, it has changed my life. So I'm very grateful for you inviting me to be here and speak to everybody about my journey and what the clinical marketer team can provide for someone who joins the group. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, I greatly appreciate that. And so let's before we dive into kind of the meat of the things that people can take away from this call today, and maybe start to take some action on. Tell us what it is that what kind of practice you have, who it is you like to work with, and where you're from.
So I am from Tampa, Florida. I opened up my practice March 1st of this year, and the type of people that I like to work with are active individuals who want to get out of pain, discomfort, things that are limiting them in the activities that they like to do, but also the individuals that want to optimize their performance and continue to push their boundaries and strive for newer goals and achieve those through the help of a doctor of physical therapy. So it's been an amazing journey, starting the practice and getting to work with each and every single client that has come through my doors, to see them progress and get better at the individual things that they want to do, from working with ultra marathoners, track and field athletes, and to your typical mom or dad that just wants to be able to play with their children. It's been awesome.
I love that. And as you know, we work with the exact same populations for the most part. So we can definitely relate with a lot of the journey that you're going on, just getting started. Now I'm just curious, like, how long were you thinking about starting a cash practice before you started?
So my journey to becoming a doctor of physical therapy wasn't your traditional career path. This was my second career choice. I served 8 years in the Navy prior to getting out in 2016 to kind of pursue a career in the medical field. Through my time in the Navy, I fell in love with the CrossFit community and Olympic weightlifting and coaching people. So I got my certifications through that. And that's where I found my love for physical therapy. So through my journey of going to school to become a doctor of physical therapy, I started to realize that I wanted to eventually own my own practice. But I was always under the impression that I needed to go and get some experience and work in a orthopedic outpatient setting or work with a sports team or something like that prior to opening up my own practice. So I graduated in 2023 and I started working in a private practice outpatient clinic that was hybrid. So some cash based, some insurance based. And I quickly realized that some of the things that were occurring in my career weren't what truly aligned with my core values. And I wanted to pursue a opportunity where I can create the environment that I wanted to work in and the type of practice that I could see myself working in. So January of 2024, I started doing some research and started looking at how to open up a Cash PT practice. And I started to set myself up on that journey. And then an opportunity presented itself to where I was shown a co-working office space. And I realized then that the universe, for some reason, was pointing me in the direction of this is where you need to be. This is where you need to start your practice and you need to move on it like yesterday. So within 2 weeks of coming to the co-working space, is there like an echo?
No, I'm not hearing one.
Oh, okay.
If you're listening right now and you hear an echo, let us know in the comments. But right now, it sounds good to me.
Okay. So I decided to sign a lease that started March 1st. And for some reason, again, the universe so happened to be that one of the clinic marketer team reached out to me and said, hey, we would love to talk to you about, possibly working together. So I spoke with one of the team members, and March 1st, I signed up with the clinical marketer. And that was my journey of where I started my Cash PT practice. And that was day one for me. And I haven't looked back since. So I am excited. I was excited to start with you guys, and I'm excited to continue with you guys to see where my practice goes.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you so much for your service. I've got 3 uncles and a grandpa that all served in the military, all served in the Navy specifically. So definitely appreciate you and everything that you've done for the country. Now, definitely a unique story. And I love that you followed the omens, the signs, and you went all in. So you're saying that literally pretty much you joined a clinical marketer when you started your practice.
Correct. I think I filed for my LLC the second week of February. I signed a lease to open up my office. March 1st was the day that I actually got my keys. And that day, as I was driving in to pick up my keys, I was actually on the phone with the clinical marketer team in the car driving here, and having a conversation with somebody about how, the Facebook marketed ads, the clinical marketer, classwork and online program can walk you step by step on how to basically generate leads and get clients to the door. And it was a big risk at the time. It was a financial risk that I was like, well, right now I don't have the income for it, but I'll slap it on a credit card and just gamble on myself. and the vision that I saw for my practice. And that day I signed up, I get my credit card in the car right before I came in to pick up my keys to my office. And I was like, hey, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it. So yeah, day one of opening my doors was the day that I signed up for clinical marketing.
Let's go. And Kai says, hell yeah, proud of you. Is Kai your accountability coach?
No, Kai is not. Sheila is.
Oh, Sheila. Oh, love Sheila. It's her birthday today, so we got to give her some extra love. Happy birthday, Sheila.
Yeah. Yeah. I messaged her bright and early because my daughter woke me up at like 4:30 in the morning. So
yeah, Sheila says, I echo that. Josh is awesome. Yeah. Since you started working with us, you went from zero, you're doing 5-figure 10K months, but talk us a little bit through the numbers and the growth trajectory that you went on since starting with us.
Yeah, so March 1st, I opened up my doors. I didn't know anything. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know how I was going to get my first patient through the door. And after signing up with the clinical marketer team, you guys sent out all of the study materials, the week by week modules to kind of hold us accountable. And I just started from there. I was still working at my other job. So I was doing this a day and a half. So after my 10-hour shifts, I would get off work and get some dinner and go through the modules. And I started learning little by little. And I believe I started running my first ad campaign March 26th or something like that. So like towards the end of March. And I think within launching the first ad campaign, I had 3 or 4 leads come in about a week and a half afterwards. And it's a crazy story, but the leads that did come in, I scheduled them while I was on paternity leave. So I had some family come in. My daughter was born April 10th, and I took 2.5 weeks off, and I started seeing the leads that opted in for the evaluation. I started seeing them during the morning. I would schedule them, come in to the office, do the evaluation, and then book them. So it was a very scary situation at the beginning, trying to get those leads in and get those clients on the books. And then I would say, April came around. I had probably 5 steady patients that were on my schedule. May came around, and that's when I decided to go on a leave of absence from my other job. That would start May 29th. And I would go to the Arizona live clinical marketer right after my last day. During that weekend, I learned so much, and I started to implement a lot of the things that I learned. June, at the end of May. So June 1st, I started hitting the ground running. And my goal was not to go back to work for somebody else when my leave of absence was up in July. So when I started implementing a lot of the things that you guys were teaching, a lot of the stuff that I learned at the live event, that's when things started to really move. So I started getting multiple leads a week, scheduling evaluations and getting patients on the books. And I think around August, September timeframe is when I had one of my best months and hit that 10K mark for revenue for 1 month. So
congratulations. I mean, you had a lot of things stacked against you. Congratulations on a boy or girl?
Baby girl. Her name's
Baby girl. You had a baby girl. You launched a business. You attended an event. You walked away from your stability at a job that you've held for a while. I mean, that is a lot of things that you have to conquer, and that's scary. And so most people aren't courageous enough to take those steps or necessary to do that, especially at such a hectic, unpredictable time. So just want to give you massive props for doing that. In your journey from like zero, going kind of back and forth, dealing with, starting the family, being there for your new baby girl and your wife. What were some of the biggest challenges that you faced early on, getting the practice off the ground?
I would have to say the time aspect of it.
Mm.
Obviously we only have 24 hours in a day. So
Right.
dealing with a brand new newborn, being there for my wife through the whole process of maternity leave, starting a practice, leaving a job. So time was one of the hardest parts. Um, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was exhausted most days. But then also the fear aspect of it, right?
Yeah.
Getting over the insecurity of, okay, what if I fail,
Mhm.
right? What if I'm not successful? What if I can't succeed in opening a practice and getting clients in and getting clients better? There was a moment in the whole process where I dealt with some imposter syndrome of, am am I doing the right thing? Is my patience getting better? Like, I had a moment there where I made a silly mistake with the Facebook ads and leads stopped coming in. And for a good 2-3 weeks, I was like not getting any leads, and I was scared. I was afraid. But I think with the help of the clinical marketer team, the coaches, speaking with Ben, him taking the time out one evening to kind of just talk me through um, the feeling of imposter syndrome was so beneficial and so helpful for me personally to get over some of those fears that honestly could have chokeholded me and kept me from continuing to push through and succeed. Um, so a lot of the success that I have and a lot of the knowledge and experience that I've gained over the last couple of months is due to your team and what you guys do for us. If it wasn't for you guys, a lot of us probably wouldn't succeed. So I'm very grateful for you guys.
Uh, that means the world to me to hear that. I can emphatically disagree with the fact that you wouldn't be successful without us, though. It might take longer, but like, you'd be surprised at how much information we put into people's hands. Like, we teach all this stuff. It's all out there for free, but most people just don't put in the work and the effort that you do. And as you said, like, it's hard not to be a little insecure when you start a business and have that imposter syndrome, because it is a house of mirrors. And most people can't take a good, honest look at themselves in that mirror and overcome those insecurities. And you did. And that's the biggest sign of someone who's inevitably going to be successful. So I appreciate the statement, but give yourself some credit too, because you are a beast. Sheila even just said you're a beast, that you're even at the event, as we were teaching stuff, you were building your funnels at lunch, which so absolutely love that, man. Tell me, what were one or two of the biggest needle movers for you since joining Clinical Marketer?
I think honestly, one was the live event. Um, the passion, the motivation, the knowledge that is in the room. Me basically just starting from nothing, being in a room with individuals that are making seven figures, multiple seven figures of a year, getting to learn from those individuals and getting to experience, talking to somebody that is in the same boat as me, or somebody that's 2-3 years ahead of me, and being able to see that was amazing, and one of the biggest like motivations and needle movers, because you got to see the rewards of the hard work that you can put in to it. Um, I think some of the other needle movers were, just being able to rely on you guys and lean on you. So there was plenty of moments where I would reach out to my coach Sheila, which she's awesome. Um,
Sheila?
she's I can't speak highly enough of her. but being able to lean on her and say, "Hey, I'm running into this issue. Can you help me with this?" And her taking the time out to troubleshoot some of the funnels, or send me a room video of, "Hey, look, this is how you do it, or this is how you set it up," um, was definitely one of the other needle movers for me. And then honestly, a lot of the things that you guys teach in the modules, it's not something that is taught in your traditional physical therapy schools. So learning the sales tactics, getting over the fact that you're selling a package, or you're selling therapy, um, or an outcome, right? Those modules, and learning and hearing from somebody that has perfected the sales calls, um, is so helpful. Um, and then your weekly calls, the Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday calls, the Friday calls, just being able to hear what other people in the program are doing, and troubleshooting problems, and listening to other people's sales calls, and picking up the little gems here and there, definitely has improved my sales tactics, my skills, the discovery calls, the evaluations. So there's so many different things within the CM team and modules and program that you can just take and make a world of a difference in your practice.
Yeah, I mean, proximity. That almost summarizes it. Like that, it's the most empowering thing you can possibly have, is just being around other people who are further ahead than you, because you can't help but believe in yourself more when there's someone who you know isn't better than you. You know they're not necessarily smarter or harder working. They just know a few more things. They've done it a little bit longer, and that's so incredibly empowering, and just helps you expedite things for sure. How would you say what you've accomplished for yourself using the curriculum and the resources within clinical marketer? How's that impacted your personal life, I guess?
Well, I can honestly sit here and tell you that from the moment that I opened up my practice to now, emotionally, physically, mentally, I'm in such a better space than what I was when I was working for somebody else. Um, it's given me the ability to have a little bit more time to spend with my family, be there for my daughter. From the moment that my wife went back to work off of maternity leave, I basically said, I'm going to take Mondays off to be with my daughter and take care of her, because my in-laws are unable to take care of her on Mondays. Um, would I be able to do that in any other situation? Probably, but it would be a hassle. Um,
Yeah.
so it's given me the time, the freedom, to not only invest in myself, um, but that investment in myself reflects, and I'm in turn able to give 100% to my patients, which are getting better. They're enjoying the experience of working with me. And it's just allowed me to kind of change my whole perspective on my job, my family, and what's important to me. Um, and it's given me the opportunity to do that, and to kind of mold what my practice will be in the future, of being able to provide good quality care to patients, but also provide a good work environment, with good work life balance to the employees who eventually will work for me. So it's been a game changer in my personal life, that has allowed me to do the things that I get to do.
That, I mean, you've been to the live event. You know my heart. You know how much everything you just said like means to me. Having balance, and being able to dedicate your time to your family, put them first, and live life the way that you want to live life, while also pouring into others. That's my dream right there. Um, so thank you for putting in the work that you've put in. That helps my dream come true, because you're doing exactly like what I this is all I want in life, to be able to help make that kind of change. So thank you for the effort you put in, and for being here and sharing your journey with us here today. For anyone who's watching this video who is considering or on the fence about working with clinical marketer through any one of our programs, what would you have to say to them?
I would highly recommend just taking a call, because literally it just took taking the call with one of your team members to hear the passion and dedication that you guys have for helping individuals who want to be successful at a cash based PC practice. Um, it's scary, because it's solely on you to be successful. But with the help and support of the clinical marketer team, um, and just a little bit of dedication and hard work, it's a no brainer. Like you'll definitely be successful with implementing just a fraction of what you guys teach. Um, so honestly, just take a call. Take the call with one of the team members and just listen to it. And if you can't hear the passion and dedication that you guys portray, then I don't know what to tell you. But you're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear it, and you're gonna want to join the team, because you guys are amazing, and you can definitely hear it in the phone calls. So that's my advice. Just take a call.
Appreciate that, man. And for anyone who's listening, if you're interested in exploring what it'd be like to work with us and get the exact same coaching, resources, and mentorship that Josh here has gotten to grow and scale, to launch, grow, and scale his practice, just put 50K, I think was the buzzword that we had in the copy of this post. Put 50K below. We'll follow up with you, have an open conversation to see if working together might make sense. If not, we'll just share some resources with you and send you on your way in a better spot than when you hopped on. So if you're watching here, give Josh some love. He's here to share his knowledge with each and every one of you to inspire you and hopefully push you into the action that you need to take to turn the corner inside of your cash practice. Make sure to give him some love inside of the comments. Josh, where can people, if people want to reach out to you to ask about your experience or ask just for some advice, maybe they're going through a challenging leg in their life right now, maybe they have a young child on the way, maybe they're stuck in a job that they're afraid to step away from, where could they maybe get a hold of you?
You can reach me on my Instagram handle, ResiliencyPT. You can also reach me at resiliencypt.com. Just go in and fill out a availability, and we can just hop on a call. And then we can talk about my experience and what the clinical marketer team has done for me.
Thank you so much for making yourself available if people want to reach out. I know that you have a very unique but very inspiring story that I think will push a lot of people out of the complacency that they might find themselves in, and help them get out of that fear to take action that they need to take. So everybody, thank you so much for being here, for catching the replay, comment replay, for catching live, comment live. Make sure to give Josh some love inside of the comments. Everyone has